If you've ever looked into anabolic steroids, chances are you've heard of Oxandrolone, better known by its brand name, Anavar. This compound is a synthetic derivative of dihydrotestosterone, or simply DHT, and it was designed to be taken orally, which alone makes it appealing to anyone who'd rather skip the needles. But what really made it famous over the decades is its reputation as one of the safest steroids out there, both in medical use and in the fitness scene. Originally, Oxandrolone wasn't made for the gym crowd at all. Back in 1962, two researchers at Searle Laboratories developed it to help patients regain muscle mass quickly. 2 years later, it hit the market, prescribed for cases like severe burns, post-surgery recovery, osteoporosis, and even certain degenerative diseases. The focus at the time was purely medical. Nobody was talking about its potential for aesthetic enhancement yet. One of the biggest selling points of Oxandrolone is its anabolic to androgenic ratio, which sits at around 6:1. In plain English, it's way better at building and preserving muscle than it is at causing masculinizing side effects like increased body hair, a deeper voice, or skin changes. That balance is exactly why it's so popular with women. When used in moderate doses, the risk of virilization is much lower compared to other steroids. Another reason people love it is convenience. Unlike many anabolic steroids that require injections, Oxandrolone comes in pill form. This is possible thanks to something called 17-alpha alkylation, a chemical tweak that helps the compound survive its first pass through the liver and still reach the bloodstream active. For anyone with needle anxiety, or who just prefers a simpler, more discreet option, that's a big win. Its half-life is about 8 to 10 hours, which means to keep steady levels in your system, it's usually taken 2 or even 3 times a day, every 8 to 12 hours. Splitting doses like this helps avoid big spikes and drops, keeping the effects stable and predictable. That's important whether you're chasing athletic performance or a certain look in the mirror. One more thing, Oxandrolone doesn't aromatize. In other words, it doesn't convert to estrogen, the main female sex hormone. That means no risk of gynecomastia, male breast tissue growth, and no excessive water retention, which is a common downside of aromatizing steroids. In practice, it gives the physique a leaner, more defined look, something highly prized in the bodybuilding and fitness world. Put it all together, strong anabolic effect, low androgenic potential, easy oral use, a convenient half-life, and no aromatization. And you can see why Oxandrolone earned its place both in medical prescriptions and in athlete supplement stacks. Before it became a gym staple, Oxandrolone played, and still plays, in some countries, an important role in medicine. It was created to help in situations where maintaining or building muscle mass was crucial for recovery. In kids with growth delays, for example, it helped stimulate development without causing excessive androgenic effects. In elderly patients with sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, it helped restore strength and independence for daily activities. One of the most researched uses has been in severe burn victims. In these cases, the body goes into a hypermetabolic state, burning through muscle reserves fast and making healing harder. Oxandrolone proved effective at slowing that muscle loss, speeding up skin regeneration, and shortening hospital stays. Similar benefits have been seen in AIDS patients and those recovering from major surgeries, where physical wear and tear is extreme. It's also been prescribed for osteoporosis, not just to strengthen bones, but to ease the pain that comes with the disease. In Turner syndrome, a genetic condition that affects girls, it's been used alongside growth hormone, GH, to boost height, with good results. Researchers have even explored its use as a support therapy in advanced cancer and liver disease, where preserving lean mass can be a game changer for quality of life. And the benefits go beyond muscle. Solid evidence shows it can speed up wound healing, improve skin graft recovery, and help control the over-the-top inflammatory response that often happens in critical conditions. For someone in a weakened state, that kind of boost can mean not just a faster recovery, but also a lower risk of serious complications. It's worth pointing out that, despite all these positive results, medical use of Oxandrolone has always come with regular checkups and constant monitoring. The idea was to tap into its anabolic potential without exposing patients to unnecessary risks. That careful, measured approach is exactly what sets supervised medical use apart from the unregulated, recreational kind, a distinction worth keeping in mind as we move forward in this video. In the sports and physique world, Oxandrolone holds a special place. It's known for delivering visible results without the same level of water retention or extreme hormonal swings that other steroids can bring. Its biggest selling point? The ability to build lean muscle, that dense, well-defined kind that stands out for its quality, not just its size. For athletes, that's gold, because it means boosting performance without sacrificing aesthetics to unwanted bloat. Another reason it's so sought after is the noticeable increase in strength. Even during a calorie deficit, when energy is low and strength usually drops, many users report being able to maintain or even improve their lifting numbers. Holding on to strength like that is crucial for keeping training intensity high and preventing muscle loss, which can be a game changer during competition prep or intense conditioning phases. Oxandrolone's fat-burning, lipolytic effect is also a big deal. Unlike compounds that only indirectly help with fat loss, it actively encourages the body to tap into stored fat for energy. That makes it especially useful during cutting phases, where the goal is to slash body fat percentages while hanging on to every ounce of hard-earned muscle. During bulking, while it's not the go-to for massive weight gains, it can be used to add clean muscle. When stacked with other compounds, it helps deliver quality mass without piling on excessive fat. This approach is popular among athletes who want to keep a polished, aesthetic look even in a surplus phase. Its popularity among women is another highlight. Because of its low androgenic profile, the risk of masculinizing side effects, like a deeper voice or excessive hair growth, is much lower when used responsibly. That's why Oxandrolone is often a first choice for female athletes looking to boost performance and improve physique without putting their femininity on the line. When it comes to cycles and dosages, the first thing to understand is there's no one-size-fits-all formula. Each protocol has to be tailored to the user's experience level, goals, and, ideally, under a health professional's supervision. In a medical setting, doses are usually conservative. For men, therapeutic use tends to be in the 20 to 30 milligrams per day range. For women, especially in treatment of specific conditions, doses are typically 5 to 10 milligrams daily, aiming for the lowest effective amount to get the desired result with the least possible risk. In aesthetic or performance contexts, the numbers climb, and that's where caution is critical. Men generally run between 20 to 60 milligrams daily, with some experienced athletes pushing up to 100 milligrams in more aggressive, tightly monitored protocols. For women, the more common range is 5 to 20 milligrams per day. Go above that, and the risk of side effects like virilization rises sharply, making it essential to watch for early signs such as voice changes or hair growth. Typical cycles vary with the goal. For men in a cutting phase, doses usually fall between 20 to 60 milligrams daily for 6 to 8 weeks, helping preserve muscle while leaning out. For women, cutting often involves 2.5 to 15 milligrams daily for the same duration. In bulking phases, men almost always stack it with other compounds like testosterone, mastrin, or primobolan to keep gains clean and sustainable. For women, bulking is usually more conservative, often done without stacks and with lower doses to keep side effects to a minimum. Common stacks also have a strategic purpose. For men, testosterone is almost always the foundation of any cycle, maintaining hormonal balance while oxandrolone steps in to enhance gains or preserve muscle. Alongside it, compounds like winstrol, primobolan, and mastrin are popular choices for athletes chasing definition and muscle quality. For more experienced women, combinations with clenbuterol, winstrol, or primobolan can be effective, as long as they're approached cautiously and always stay within individual limits. Another key point is splitting doses throughout the day because of its half-life, which runs between 8 and 10 hours. That means to keep stable blood levels and get the most out of the benefits, it's common to divide the total amount into 2 or 3 doses daily. And it's worth stressing, longer cycles or higher doses demand even closer monitoring through blood work and listening to your body, since the goal should always be to maximize results without putting your health on the line. And while it's often called the safest steroid, let's be clear, safe doesn't mean risk-free. On the androgenic side, possible side effects include oily skin, acne breakouts, hair loss, and for women, more serious issues like a deeper voice or clitoral enlargement. These are typically dose-dependent, meaning the higher and longer the use, the greater the odds, and some, like voice changes, can be irreversible. Hormonally, one of the main concerns for men is the suppression of natural testosterone production. This can lead to lowered libido, reduced sexual function, and even an overall drop in vitality. That's why longer cycles often require temporary testosterone replacement, either through gels or injections, to prevent what's called a hormonal crash. Women can also see hormonal changes, though in different ways, such as menstrual cycle disruptions or shifts in sexual sensitivity. Cardiovascular effects are another legit concern. Oxandrolone can significantly lower HDL, the good cholesterol, and sometimes raise LDL, the bad cholesterol. This lipid imbalance increases the risk of atherosclerosis and long-term heart problems, especially in frequent users or those with a genetic predisposition to cardiovascular disease. As for the liver, while it's less hepatotoxic than many other oral steroids, it's far from harmless. Prolonged or high-dose use can raise liver enzymes like AST, TGO, and ALT, TGP, and in rare cases, lead to severe conditions such as pileosis hepatis, blood-filled cysts in the liver, or tumors. These issues aren't common, but they're not impossible either. Another reason regular blood tests are non-negotiable during use. Other risks include elevated hematocrit levels, which make the blood thicker and more prone to clotting, raising the risk of thrombosis. For women, aside from menstrual irregularities, there's the very real danger of fetal masculinization and birth defects if used during pregnancy. All of this underscores that, despite its benefits, Oxandrolone demands respect, planning, and professional supervision to keep health risks as low as possible. Before even thinking about starting a cycle, you need to set the stage to avoid future problems. Step 1 is a full medical checkup, including lab work to assess lipid profile, liver function, and a detailed blood count. A thorough medical evaluation is crucial, especially for anyone with a history of hormonal issues, heart problems, or any health conditions that could be aggravated by steroid use. This preventive step helps flag potential contraindications and shape the safest approach possible. Once the cycle starts, ongoing monitoring is the foundation of responsible use. That means regularly checking cholesterol, liver enzymes, and hematocrit levels to catch early changes before they become serious. Staying well hydrated is another simple but effective habit to support cardiovascular and kidney health. For men, longer or higher dose cycles may require testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, either in gel or injectable form, to prevent the symptoms of hormonal deficiency. And let's not forget, your diet and training have to match the goal of the cycle. Oxandrolone won't work miracles by itself. Without a solid nutrition plan and a well-structured workout program, results will be limited. Working with a qualified coach and sports nutritionist can help maximize gains while minimizing side effects. Finally, when the cycle wraps up, it's time to think about post-cycle therapy, PCT. For men, this step is almost always essential, usually involving medications like Clomid and/or Nolvadex for around 4 weeks to jumpstart natural testosterone production and ward off low testosterone symptoms. For women, PCT is rarely needed, but tapering the dose during the last couple of weeks, especially after a longer cycle, can help prevent abrupt hormonal swings. In short, Oxandrolone can be an effective tool in both aesthetic and therapeutic contexts, but safe use demands discipline and attention to detail. Skipping blood work, neglecting hydration, or skipping PCT are mistakes that can turn a promising cycle into a serious health problem. The real difference maker isn't just picking the right dose, but following a protocol that respects your body's limits and protects your long-term well-being. Oxandrolone's journey in the global market has been marked by breakthroughs, restrictions, and, more recently, outright bans. In the United States, it was classified as a Schedule III controlled substance, meaning its use was tightly regulated. Despite that, it remained available for medical purposes for decades, until 2023, when the FDA officially pulled its approval for all indications, citing potential risks of serious side effects and questioning its effectiveness compared to newer alternatives. That decision effectively wiped Oxandrolone from U.S. pharmacy shelves. In the UK and Canada, it's also listed as a controlled drug, requiring a prescription and strict medical supervision for any use. Across Europe, availability keeps shrinking, with many countries banning it altogether. On the flip side, it can still be found in some less regulated markets, like parts of Asia and certain Latin American countries, sometimes even in original packaging from long-standing brands. Among its most famous brand names were Anavar and Oxandrolone, widely used in the US and abroad until they were pulled from the market. Other labels like Lanavar, Lipidex, Pertivar, and Vasarome also made their mark in different regions. Today, these names live on in the memories of athletes and bodybuilders, but in reality, most of them are no longer legally available in pharmacies. This shortage in the legal market has fueled a boom in the underground trade, where it's heavily sold, especially in sports circles. But that route comes with major risks. Counterfeits, adulterated products, and inaccurate dosages are common, threatening not only your results, but also your health. Many times, what's sold as pure Oxandrolone may contain completely different and unknown substances. Given this reality, anyone choosing to use Oxandrolone outside a medical context needs to understand they're accepting not only health risks, but also possible legal consequences, depending on their country's laws. What's clear is that now, more than ever, information and caution are essential for anyone considering its use, whether for aesthetics, performance, or medical reasons. So, after learning all these details about Oxandrolone, from its history to its uses, benefits, risks, and precautions, what's your take? Do you think it's worth it, or do the risks outweigh the rewards? I'd love to hear your opinion, so drop your thoughts in the comments. Your input might even help someone else who's researching this topic. If this content helped you or cleared up your doubts, don't forget to give it a like. That simple click tells YouTube you enjoyed the video and helps the channel reach more people. And if you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting our work and get access to exclusive content, consider becoming a channel member. The button's right down there. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video, whether it's about steroids, training, nutrition, or performance. We're always bringing you high-quality content to help you make smarter, safer decisions. Oh, and before you go, check out the video popping up here on the end screen. It's a perfect follow-up to this topic and will take your knowledge even deeper, whether on cycles, training strategies, or other compounds in the bodybuilding world. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for sticking around until the end. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, information is your best tool for achieving results the smart and safe way. See you soon.